You know, the funny thing about country music right now is like my hardest job is like with like Trump and all this like BS that's going on. It's so hard for me to say I sing country music because I really don't anymore. It's like it's almost like a division. You know, it's like if there was a comedy writer that got elected president and everyone hated him, you'd be like, I'm a comedy writer, but I'm not racist.
Yeah.
You know,
But
and it's just so hard. It's like such a weird thing.
I wonder if I can ask you about that though, because for me, can't you see that as an opportunity to not get in line? And isn't like all music a little bit about rebellion? I mean, even Johnny Cash didn't play by the rules and by any means. And I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of opportunity because country music, it feels like there's opportunity to distinguish yourself from that. And I don't know.
There is, Jason Isbell is really good at doing that.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
My label was just like, we talked about it in a meeting and I said, hey guys, 6 months ago, I was like, hey, I really want to tell my fans that I've been dying to say it. Like, I don't like Trump, and I voted for Biden and I can't say that. I know people are going to listen to this podcast, but I'm okay with that. And my label's like, look, you're just going to lose. We did the research. You're going to lose 44% of your fan base. And I'm like, that's fine.
44% that you didn't want to begin with.
I didn't want that to begin with, and it's a way to kind of restart and let people know where you take a stand. And honestly, the people that ride or die with you will probably appreciate that. But I was like the Elvis quote is like, dude, look, I'm not a politician, I'm a musician. I'll just stay out of it.
Yeah.
And so it was tough. But when the thing went down at the Capitol, I sent a shit ton of tweets out, and I was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
I'm done. And I want you to know where I stand on this deal.
Well, I gotta say though, the impact somebody like you has, and I know that there's a cost. I don't pretend to not know the cost when you do it. But like I think about Jenny, we talked about this in a previous podcast, but like Jim Gaffigan, the comedian Jim Gaffigan,
right,
who has a huge red state following, is very clean comic and brilliantly funny.
Yeah.
But like when he comes out and says, this is monstrous what's going on in Washington.
Yeah.
It has so much more impact than when like lefty Jew boy comedy writer says it. I'm pointing to myself.
It would be more shocking, Danny, if you were like, love Trump.
Yeah, exactly. So like, and it's like there is something to be said for being courageous about it. I mean, Natalie, we always thought
Yeah. And Natalie Main's like, well, I was going to say, Rich, as hard as it is, I think, because I would have, I try, I mean, now I feel like Danny, probably because of this podcast and everything Trump has done, we've talked more about politics on this podcast when this was supposed to just be talking about comedy. But because of how fucking atrocious he's been, how can you not talk about it? How can anybody be on board? And I think for you, like, yes, if you're going to lose fans, obviously you said you've lost followers, but you're also going to gain a whole new audience of people going, hey, fuck, great.
And Danny was right. I should have used it early on. Honestly, 2 years ago, I should have just jumped on the train and said, I don't agree with this. I'm sorry. And just lost them then. It's kind of like ripping a Band-Aid off. You just kind of wait and finally got to be like, all right, shit, let's rip it, man. Let's go.
And then you realize, that Band-Aid has been rotten this whole time.
It's been rotten the whole
Keeping
time.
it on my fucking hand.
But I got to say, Rich, it's like, I think you're doing it at the right time. I'm doing it when it became too much. It's like, it revealed itself to you. It's not like you had to do it before, but like, we are in a crisis right now. And so it's like, look, I was watching all day the Congress. There are people who are cowering under desks who are still not ready to come out against it.
Yeah.
Like their lives were, Mike Pence, they built a gallows for him. They were going to hang him.
Yeah.
And he still won't do it. So it's just like coming around to it is just like, it's an act of bravery. I think it's good.
No, I get it. Half of it is just the headache of like, I enjoy getting on Twitter and following you and Jenny and like Pat Oswalt and stuff because it's good writing. It's good like humor, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
When I get on, after I make a Trump comment, I go on Twitter, all of a sudden I got like, 2,000, crazy people just tearing me apart, Googling my mom's maiden name, just, the craziest shit. And you're like, do I really even need the headache? Don't need to say anything. I just want to have peace and drink coffee today. I don't feel like seeing all these people freaking beat me up, So I get it. It's a headache. And it is, you know, Jenny, you made a good point. You said this is a comedy podcast. And now we're talking about politics, but I think politics has gotten so ridiculous that it's actually comical now, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I think
It really is.
It's almost impossible to not talk about it. It's like, how can you not address this huge fucking elephant in the room that
The Capitol thing was like watching a Mel Brooks film. Like that could have been a scene in like Blazing Saddles. Like you're like,
Blazing Saddles, the fight with the dancers.
Yeah. It's like, dude, are you kidding me right now? Like, am I really watching like a Mel Brooks film right now?
I mean, it was one of the most atrocious things I've ever seen. And then I feel like every hour since then, we've just seen more and more video. We've heard more like first, hand accounts of people like, some reporter from the Times was like, they ripped her lanyard off, pushed her down. These really like just aggressive people, all based on what the president of the United States told them to do. Like,
and the Congress people who said it and know it's a lie.
Yeah.
Right.
Osama bin Laden didn't fly the planes into the building. He just convinced a bunch of people that they get 78 virgins.
Right, exactly.
And there's no fucking difference than none of these Congress people or Trump believe there was voter fraud, for real. Maybe like Louis Gohmert, the really dumb ones, but even he doesn't. They all know this was a lie that they told. They got other people involved so that you could make the case. Those people who are doing it, I'm not forgiving them. They want to prosecute, I want to rot in jail, but they think they're doing God's work. They don't see themselves as bad people. They believe that there was this huge fraud because the people they are lying to them. So I
feel like the people that fucking flew the planes into the Twin Towers thought they were doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Like they've been like it's brainwashing. It's true. Like this is what we were told to do by our leader. So
I was a history minor, and it reminds me a page right out of Nazi Germany. It really does. Like all the things are like correlating just exactly. It's like this guy gets up here and says this, and these people are just blinded by it and go out and do it. And it's scary. I mean, that's like one of the scariest things I've ever seen is like seeing that. It's definitely a big giant black eye for America, And
I can understand. I know Richard, we've talked about it. Like, we've texted, talked about like how it would make you feel, when you're looking, once all this, the pandemic finally goes away, hopefully, like you're playing a concert, you're looking into the crowd and you're thinking, do you people believe in this guy? Or you like, it's hard.
It's hard for me. I mean, it's really hard for me. Like I almost tweeted out yesterday. I was like, from here on out, you'll be asked to leave if you wear a Trump t-shirt to my concert. I just I can't give you joy. I don't want to get up and give you joy. And that's the hardest part in like country music. And like, I hope you will listen to this podcast, and I'm definitely going to retweet it. I'm going to get it out there when this is done, because I really want people to hear my side of the deal. But like, it really is odd because there are like half of my fan base really does believe Trump's like their Lord and Savior. It's like so crazy to me.
Well, maybe, all I can say about that is it's like you have to speak your truth. I mean, you can't be a fucking artist in anything if you're not being honest. And that doesn't mean you have to like attack or do anything like that, but you have to speak the truth. You're like in this, and you have to talk. It's like if we're on the Titanic and somebody says, do we have to talk about the boat sinking all the time? Can we talk about something else? No, the boat's fucking sinking.
The boat is sinking.
I'm just so tired of talking about how the boat's sinking.
Please, everyone, can we just finally move on?
The iceberg. I get it.
The iceberg hit it. Come on. You see the lobster tank?
I am apolitical on icebergs.
I know, Danny, you're totally right. And I give so many hints. In my music, I had a single called Peter and Paul, and I mentioned Trump, and I mentioned the wall and the bridge. And people thought I was for Trump. I was like, are you not listening to this song? It's an anti-Trump rap song. They still didn't get it. They mentally will spin stuff in their direction, no matter how obvious it is.
Whatever narrative they want to create.
Whatever narrative they want to believe, they believe. It's crazy to me.
No, they played for years at Republican rallies, Born in the USA.
Yeah.
And did you listen to the lyrics of Born in the USA?
Springsteen is like my idol. That's an anti-Vietnam, anti-American song.
It's an anti-imperialist American song. And how it's anti-wage gap and it's all about like progressive change.
I'll tell you, and I know, Danny, you're a Jersey boy too, so that was extra. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Born in the USA, like you're the boss. My favorite, all-time favorite band is CCR. All-time.
Yeah.
favorite.
Oh yeah.
When Trump played Fortunate Son,
I couldn't believe it.
I thought my head was going to explode. I'm like, you're a fucking draft dodger. Are you serious? Like, oh my God.
Fortunate Son is the greatest protest song ever written.
Ever.
And it's Fortunate Son. That's you. You didn't have to go.
Yeah.
I love John Fogerty for like, stop fucking playing my song.